Hello, Cancer. Welcome or welcome back to Mind, Body, and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for, was this April 2020. I hope you're well, Cancer. This is a general reading for, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates. And if it doesn't, it just doesn't. I hope you are well. These are quite some circumstances we find ourselves in. Let's see what's going on with you this month of April. Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful, Cancer. You're not the first one. I think Gemini had that too. Four of Swords. You're definitely not the first one to have the Four of Swords as your challenge. Okay. It's not one. Eight of Wands as your focus. Nice. Okay. What's this? Eight of Pentacles as your advice. Roll of Eights. Nice. And a 4. Structure, structure, structure. And the Six of Pentacles as the future energy. Nice, Cancer. Temperance as your underlying energy. Do you see this? Okay, this is better. So Temperance is the underlying energy, is the theme of your reading. Nice. All right, I'll pull out the clarifiers to get a bigger picture. So you have the Four of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles. No, Four of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles as your current energy. I'm telling you, it's so many 4s and 8s here. Toolbar structure. See what's going on here. Challenge. So you have the Knight of Cups with the Four of Swords as your challenge. Let's put this a little bit further up so we can see it all. Yeah, I don't breathe so well on my nose. I hope it's not. It's not. Nine of Swords with the Eight of Wands as your focus. Hey, the Sun with the Eight of Pentacles was your advice. Are you coming out or not? Okay. And you have the Nine of Pentacles, a lot of Pentacles. With the Six of Pentacles as your future energy. And bottom of the deck, another 8. Eight of Swords with the Temperance as your underlying energy, the theme of your reading. My God, I have candle wax on my card. Never mind. Okay, Cancer. So what's going on in here? So this month, you're obviously working with tempering up your emotional state and also finding that sweet space in between of moderation in general. This is Sagittarius energy, Temperance, and it's thinking of Sagittarius now, maybe it's also tempering up your life philosophy in general. Maybe you've been living in this mentality that you're somehow stuck. You felt stuck for a long time. You felt like you can't really move and you can't really see anything and you felt restricted, right? If that's the case, this is your reading. If that's not the case, this is not your reading. But that's pretty much what this reading is about. It's learning to work with this energy of the Eight of Swords. So this Eight of Swords energy is actually an important part in the development of our consciousness, right? If you take I have the 9 here too, so there is growth. So if you take the journey from the Ace to the 10, in general, in all the suits, there's a growth process and it's a cycle going on in there. And when the 10 happens, then you go back to an Ace, which is a new cycle. And eights are quite near the end of the second cycle. You have a cycle from 1 to 4, and then from 4 to 10. Well, there's three. I'm explaining too much. But I will just finish this idea since I started it. You have actually 3 cycles within this. Is from 1 to 4, and then you have from 5 to 7, and then from 7 to 10. And there's like different stages of this development. But this is like the Eight of Swords is the development of your higher mind. It's when you start like expanding your mind to include much bigger ideas than what it's used to include. When you develop more from the structure of the with the Four of Swords, you created a structure of what you think of the world and how the world functions based on your perception of it, right? So you develop sort of a model of the world based on which you function from that world. You report to the world in that sense. That's where your behavior comes from. That's where your survival strategies come from, so on. And it seems that now, in order to grow, you need to get out of this stage where you find yourself in. This Eight of Swords can last a long time. It's when we feel like we can't push any forward, when we feel like a little bit powerless. And it's only the mind feeling powerless in this sense, because it is asking, like the universe is asking us to take in a lot of grandiose concepts, to believe in love, to believe in the heart, to believe in the fact that we, by being loving kind ourselves, we bring more loving kindness into the world, and we are all interconnected, and it's all love, and these are beautiful concepts. But at the same time, when reality hits, our mind doesn't give room for these concepts anymore. When we go into survival fear, when we go into like, look what's going on outside of ourselves right now, look into the world. We are collectively asked right now to go beyond what is the limiting mind, and to accommodate these bigger concepts, and to act from these bigger concepts of we are forcibly challenged to cope with fear and with isolation. Look at this person. She feels just completely isolated. She's alone. She's away from the community, from the safety of the castle. She's been in the wayside, in the swamps, and she is terrified she's going to die here, right? The thing is that always the trick with the Eight of Swords is that this is an illusion. See, there's no one there to keep her there, and the binds are loose, and she could easily set herself free as long as she realizes that if she starts feeling into her body, if she starts like paying attention to these details within her, and not just get stuck in like, I can't see, I can't move, Find that sweet spot by balancing yourself up, by balancing up your perception here. Move your perception from your mind, because you're blindfolded anyway, and bring it into your body. And all these swords that actually symbolize your thoughts that are here to keep you stuck. There's limiting beliefs that tell you that you're not good enough, that nothing's going to come out anyway out of this, that everything is going to happen the same, that everything is fucked up, all that shit. Use one sword only to cut yourself free from here. And that sword is a belief that you choose to empower you. And the Buddha was teaching the middle path. That's what the Eightfold Path is also called. It is the middle path because it's not into the light, it's not into the darkness, it's in the middle. The Temperance is very much about finding that middle path, and see, it leads to the sun, which is right here. And he's also testing the ground here. See, it's 1 foot in the, in the concrete, in the physical world, in the all these pentacles, and 1 foot in the water, which symbolizes the mystical, the subconscious, the emotion, the things that we cannot see, and things like that. So it's a lot of balancing up going on. And to the mind doesn't really like this kind of stuff. It's the mind just likes the familiar, doesn't like to be stretched. And look what it does when it does get stretched. You get like completely freaks out. But it is we as a collective, we are called to do this right now, and we don't really have a choice at this point, do we? We don't have the alternative or not going with it. We need to go with it. Just as freaking out, yeah, we can freak out for a moment, we can freak out for two, but this is the new reality, and we don't know what the new reality, to what reality is going to lead back to. Is it going to lead back to the old reality as we knew it before this whole pandemic started, before the self-isolation? Or is the Great Depression coming? Or is like, I don't know, everything that's happening right now? We don't know, and the mind does not like that, and we can feel powerless. But we are discovering in this that those concepts that I was talking about earlier about love, you see again the temperance, it has the heart. The heart is highlighted here with this triangle, which symbolizes fire, actually, right at heart space. And it has this square around it, which symbolizes protection. Your heart is safe, and this is where you have your source of everything, centering back at the heart. This is what this balancing is all about. Okay, Cancer, that's good work there. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles is your current energy. You're currently probably engaged in figuring out your finances and figuring out that you have a solid foundation to hold on to, because yeah, we all feel groundless right now. Many of us are struggling financially since most of the jobs work cancelled. Not everybody can work from home, and even those that can work from home, they can feel, I don't know, threatened in so many ways, because their products, the company's products, not sure if they manage to go out there, and if there's a market for it, and things like this. So you're probably really figuring out your finances and how to feel that ground beneath you, to feel that you have a foundation. You may get a little bit clingy here and a little bit too worried about this part. It is important to know that you have something to land on, but it is also very, very important to know that your worth as a human being does not stay in that. The Queen of Pentacles is very practical. She knows exactly how to handle these affairs of the financial and of the physical and of the time and of the cleaning and of the everything. Because she knows that none of that reflects in any way her worth as a human being. None of that affects her. She can easily handle it because it's not important. Not in that sense. Not in the sense that it says something about me. So if I fuck up financially, for example, it doesn't mean that I'm not a worthy human being. It doesn't mean that I'm not good enough. It doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It means that I fucked up financially. That's it. It means that I didn't figure out my finances. So I can easily pick it up if I don't take it so personally, if I don't take it as a deep wound that goes and reflect back of who I am, if I don't figure out, I don't know, certain things in my life, and I haven't got my shit together, as most people expect us to do. I wonder how many people actually got their shit together now. Not that many anymore, Of course, some of us thrive more than others in this environment, depending on what is it that you operate from, and things like that. But the point is that none of that matters. Not deep down inside, not to the core of your being, not to the who you really are, beyond all these layers of fears and self-image. And I love that this is happening right now. We are all being challenged to ask ourselves this question: how many of the old structures of the world are still functioning or are still relevant? These are all like human-made concepts. money is a human-made concept, the economy, the way things work. And we sometimes get so attached to it and how it should be that we completely forget that this can easily drop just like that. It's nothing natural. It's something that we make up, and it does not reflect our inherent right to be alive. So I think that you are revisiting this whole structure right now. You may be challenged to think of yourself in so many different ways, and not just you, as I said, the whole world, but this is where it seems to hit you, right? It seems to hit you right at this self-worth of and finances, self-worth connected to finances and maybe public image. The Queen of Pentacles is also can reflect the Capricorn, and we've had all this heavy work done in Capricorn recently with all the planets have been in Capricorn for a while now. The South Node, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter. Well, now Saturn moved into Aquarius, so that lifts off some of that pressure and moves it somewhere else. But you know, we had to work with this a lot, with limitations, with our financial limitations, with the way we spend our time, the way we spend our energy, the way where we focus. Where do we put our focus? You know, sometimes we can focus so much on the financial thing because obviously it's important. I need to pay my bills. But at the same time, if we focus too much, I know it's counterintuitive. Sometimes if I just shift the focus towards something else, towards being grounded, towards cultivating, I don't know, mindfulness and coming back to faith in the universe, without necessarily meaning that now I'm not gonna do anything and I'm just waiting for the universe to clear out my everything. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's not about that, but sometimes over worrying and over like going bill by bill 100 times is not going to pay the bills either. It's just going to create a whirlpool of fear and worry, and you can get swollen in that, and you're gonna go into fight and flight or freeze mode actually, and you're not gonna get anything else done. But the Queen of Pentacles, she understands it's not about her worth. These are just worldly affairs. She knows what's most important in her world, and that is the natural world. Look how earthy everything is. Go back to the laws of nature right now. The weighting, the grounding, the feeling of the sensations in the body. It's very important. And I think you are able to do it. I think you can do it. Maybe you're already doing it. Maybe you, as you've seen this whole Four of Pentacles need for structure and fear of losing what you've amassed so far. Your instinct automatically takes you to this Queen of Pentacles of like grounding, listen to the wind, feel your body, feel the ground under your feet. And the reason I'm saying this is also because that can help you to do what seems to be very challenging for you right now, which is calming your mind. You know, when we get stuck into the story of how I cannot pay the bills, how I don't know how this is going to sort out, this is also unfamiliar, this is also crazy, what am I going to do? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I get into this trance of fear, and when I'm acting from that trance of fear, I'm actually tend to be quite incisive, and I don't know, it's a very different energy than when I'm coming from a grounded place, from a solution seeking type of mentality, you know, problem solving. When we're in this energy of fear and of clinginess and heavy attachment, we're definitely not in problem solving mode. That's again freeze mode, fight and flight, being charged, we're not grounded, we're not able to really socialize and bring into this world what we are able to offer. You can offer great counsel. Cancer, you are actually really good at making a home, making a homey environment, be this grounded person, be this loving mother for everyone that comes and comes through your door, and now you have the opportunity to give yourself that groundedness and that loving compassion and finding that security within you. And you can do this by taking that break, by allowing your mind to settle, not go in this constant whirlpool, and not feeling so. I mean, it's not that you can, if I say don't panic, it's not like you're not gonna panic. That never fucking works. I don't know why people say that all the time. It just doesn't work like this. But what I can say is that I see that you're panicked and I'm here with you, and I understand why you feel panicking. It's no judgment in there. I can guide you towards what is it that's going to help you right now, which is coming into your body. And it's counterintuitive, but it does work, because that's what stops the whirlpool of thoughts. It's mindfulness. It's at the basis of whole mindfulness training. When we sit and we focus on our body and we focus on our breath, we find an anchor point where we can actually disconnect the mind from this constant telling me that I'm powerless and there's nothing I can do. I'm disconnecting from the story, and I'm able to come to this point in myself where I am able to put something on the table. I'm seeing what I can offer, and I'm able to tap into that and offer it. Many times, I can understand, yes, I'm actually generally really good at doing this or doing that, or having, good communication, artistic expression, or creating that type of environment when I'm grounded. But now I'm not grounded, and I'm fucking it up. If I'm grounded, though, I can do it. So you need to come back to knowing what you can do and what you have to offer, and learn to open towards that. Focus. You have the Eight of Wands with the Nine of Swords. Eight of Wands is also, again, it's about structuring your belief system and starting to see what actions are you putting out there. This is fast moving energy. This is energy that comes from really from I don't really know how to explain this. With the Nine of Swords, especially from your unconscious mind, from your things that you don't necessarily think out loud, things that are hidden from you. But this is where your drive is, the unconscious is where we hide everything that we have unresolved issues of, huge impulses and things that we're not allowed to do because they're not socially accepted, or because they were rejected from early childhood and things like this, cultural conditioning, all that. And that's where we have all our fears and all our demons and all our shadows and all our sexual desires and things like that. Everything that's unconventional. Pluto stuff, Plutonian energy, the taboo, the things like that. Where is Pluto now? I think Pluto is still has a deep conversation with Jupiter. Ooh, yes, that's what's happening. Pluto and Jupiter are conversing, and this is quite Jupiterian energy. It's very expansive, very fast moving, very philosophical. This is also Sagittarius energy. Both of these are Sagittarius energy. And the Nine of Swords, I don't know if it's generally associated with Pluto in tarot, But right now I'm getting the feeling of that, because it talks about what's in the subconscious mind. It talks about our unconscious fears, and it talks about how they keep us awake at night. What gives us anxiety and fear. And I think that it's important for you to see the actions that come from here, to see what is it, what belief system do you, what is the model of the world that you operate from, and how does it manifest into your world? How does it manifest into action? Are you frozen in a corner and you completely unresponsive to the world? Are you in freeze mode? What can you do? The point is to recognize it, to see it for what it is, and to recognize it with your rational mind. Engage your neocortex in here. You're allowing for the release to happen, allowing these thoughts, these ideas to come out. And advice, again, you can do this by structuring the way you work with this. These need to be revealed. These need to come out. These need to be seen, first of all, by you, and accepted. And accepted as they are, like, in the impulses of a child. You're not terrified of the child if the child, I don't know, walks naked and does like is unconventional things. These are normal for a child. They don't know any better. And then we start and we tell the child, okay, you need to act like this and you need to act like that because this is what society expects you to do. And I know it's limiting to wear clothes, my dear, but you need to wear clothes, otherwise you can't go to kindergarten or school, this kind of shit. And the same way, you see, like, all these fears, all these dark thoughts, or what you consider dark or unacceptable coming out, you are working with it. You're working with it by revealing it and by being kind to it, by developing that loving compassion that we were talking about from the beginning, focusing on your heart space. And whenever you see the part of you that feels powerless, whenever you see the part of you that says, oh my god, we're all gonna die, whenever you see the part of you that says, I'm never going to be able to pay these bills, or I'm never going to be able to keep whatever however little structure and stability I still have, I may lose it, everything's gonna be lost, this kind of stuff, anything maybe much less important, but things that you fear even more, maybe that I'm not lovable, or I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough to cope with this, or I'm not adaptable enough, or things like this. Anything, see it coming out, and take your time and work with each and every one of them. Give it space, give it time. The Eight of Pentacles talks about really taking your time with each and every task here. And it's very like body level. Again, it's very much about the physical world. Give it physical time. Whenever a thought like this comes out, allow yourself to reveal it. Create a ritual out of it. Taking them one by one. You can do all kind of work that is tangible to you, that works for you. We all respond to different type of methods better. Journaling could be one. Maybe take your time and take one idea up and start debunking that belief that I'm not this, or too much of that, or not enough of that, or whatever. How real is it? How can I work with it? How can I treat this with loving compassion? Really talk to yourself, allow everything to come out and to be revealed, and give yourself the space from that part of, like, this loving mother that the Queen of Pentacles can impulse, like, it's the archetype. You can invoke that archetype. You have it within yourself. You're very, very nurturing, Cancer. You can do this with yourself. Treat each and every thought of this like a tiny child. Do the visualization if it's important for you, if it works for you. Sit in meditation, see what's coming up, and allow that fear and anxiety to, like, look into it, feel into it, and treat it again like a little child. You can see it as a scared child, or as an angry child, like a child in a tantrum, and treat with it as you would treat with yourself at that age, or with your any child. That type of work. Give it time, give it space, methodically. You can definitely do it. I have all the confidence within you for that. And you see where this is taking you. It's taking you to a place where you have everything in abundance. You have abundance of financial means. There's the Nine of Pentacles, talks about definitely abundance, working hard, and grapes symbolize abundance, and she's all well dressed. There's the snail here that talks about time and divine timing, and things happen in their own time, so you need to be patient and wait. The Queen of Pentacles is also patient. She understands the cycles of the world. If you're struggling with the quarantine or the isolation or any of that, I think you don't, because you actually are a very homey character, but who knows, maybe you do. If you allow yourself to tame the impulses, sit with this work, allow the things to come out, and allow yourself to treat it with innocence and calm and things like this, then you're in the position where you can get out of yourself and help others too. And it doesn't necessarily mean with money. If you're short of money, it can mean with how you're spending your time. After you spend so much time with working with all those inner children, the one in a tantrum, the one terrified, the one trapped in the dark well, the one that's been chained in the basement and screaming forever, and you never listen to it because you're terrified of that, because the one that's been cruel and was cutting off the wings of a fly, and you're like, holy shit, I have those impulses, what's that, I'm terrified, I'm not going to I'm not going to allow that part of me out, allow them to come out. Hope this makes sense to you. And once you do that work, you are able to give. You are able to be grounded enough to offer time, advice, gentleness, and kindness outside of yourself, because you are this badass lady who's got her shit together. And she's got her shit together because she worked hard. It's the 8 growing into 9. All right. So this is really, really beautiful. This is actually very inspiring, Cancer. Thank you so much for doing this this serious work, and to come out of here, it's a big deal. To come out of this 8 of Pentacles is a big deal. And to sit with this 9 of Swords and allow these thoughts to be examined and allowed to come into the sun. That's hat off. My hat off to you, my dear Cancer. All right, let's see what Rumi's got to say about all this. Get some wisdom of the heart. Am I shaking the whole table with this? Because I think I am. Okay. See what the booklet says about this from Alana Fairchild. She wrote this beautiful, what's it called? Like oracle cards. And the artist is, what's his name? I really like the artist. Rasuli. I really, really love the art involved in these oracles. It's so eerie and a little bit abstract, that you can also see like how beautiful these very clear shapes and concepts blend in with you see the concrete and the abstract all together. All right, let's read this Passion for Purpose, the number 2. You have a short and sweet poem from Rumi that says, love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Rumi. As we grow on the spiritual path, so does our ability to serve life. This actually talks about coming into service. Look at this. This is really coming into service. but you need to get out of the 4 to get into 6. Okay, sorry. Let's read. Okay, so as we grow on the spiritual path, so does our ability to serve life, to serve love, to honor humanity, and to offer a contribution that is unique to us, that could only flow in this particular way through the quality of our soul light, our own soul light. Every light holds its own beauty, and every light has a particular task to fulfill on the divine path of life. To help us remember this, lest we get too easily distracted by the pain and stress that happens in life, we were given an inbuilt reminder. That reminder is our passion. Temperance is fire energy, and Eight of Wands is also fire energy. Fire energy does talk to our passions. Okay. We may think that passion is not particularly practical. We may feel fearful that with passion there are no guarantees of success, that we may even be throwing away a stable and secure life to pursue our passion. I love that this showed up here with this 4 of Pentacles. These are the fears of many in modern society, yet they are so misplaced. Life supports all being based on their true nature. The birds are given air which to fly, and fish are given water in which to swim. Plants are given light of the open plains, or darkness of the damp of rainforest, depending on their needs for growth. Different flowers flourish in different environments. Bees have wings that are very small but powerful enough to move with such speed and rotation that their heavy bodies can fly. Each aspect of creation is given what requires, so it may become what it's meant to be for its unique destiny to be fulfilled. So it is with humanity. Each one of us has something in our hearts that means something to us. It is irrelevant whether it seems practical or ripe for success or not. Recipe. We are simply meant to be what we are, to serve life faithfully from a place of honoring the truth of our own nature that we genuinely feel passionate about, and to allow for life to naturally support growth to our genuine nature. Okay, I want to pause here and just add this, that this is an opportunity for all of us to see what is that within ourselves. Those of us that have the luxury to actually be isolated at home and spend the time alone, to be honest, I think that's the best. It's almost like a forced meditation retreat, where you're forced to sit with your shit and things like that. Those of us that are trapped at home or stuck at home with other people, we have the opportunity to look into our triggers and into our what we love and what's important, and how to manage ourselves and others. And those of us that, all the challenges that show up right now are literally happening so we can figure out what is it that we really need deep down inside, and what is it that makes us tick. Where we get into difficulty is not in bringing our genuine passions to life, for life supports this, but in learning to let go of attachment as to how that happens. I'm glad that it's coming back to attachment. We can struggle to free ourselves of the expectation we have to be something we are not. The divine path of love asks us to become conscious of and then unlearn the play acting of attempting to be a false self, so that we may learn to simply love and accept our real self. We may even have a struggle on our hands to remember who our real self actually is for a time. Fortunately, there is pleasure in the journey of returning to passion that can make the process of self-discovery a sweet one. Okay, this is a really long read. I can't go through it all. I'm going to jump a few paragraphs which say a little bit more of the same. And I will say, jump to the guidance. So this oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being initiated more deeply into your life purpose. Your passion will reveal itself to you with more depth, nuance, and beauty than ever before. If parts of your life are disassembling or not seem to be working out as you had planned, these are symptoms of this passionate revelation. Be curious and open to what presents itself in the wake of the falling away. Be ready for the journey within now. You are strong enough to leave behind the need for external validation whilst you learn to validate yourself. In time, soon enough, in fact, you shall reveal your innermost beauty and be witnessed and received, acknowledged for your innate value, purpose, and divinity. But for now, sweet beloved, dive deep, be defiant and determined to honor your heart's deep passion that may be witnessed by you and eventually naturally make its way into sacred expression into the world. If you have recently discovered a new talent or purpose, or have been dreaming some big dreams, this oracle comes to you with guidance and confirmation. You are excited. Follow that excitement. Let it lead you into your heart-own truth and onto an ever more passion path of purposeful living. All right, dear Cancer, this is really beautiful. I hope you're able to receive this beautiful gift that's opening up for you, and that you are present with your journey. I'm very compassionate of the state of soul's energy. I feel it often as well. It's hard to work with it, but it's definitely doable, and you have a lot of supportive energy here, and it's so fruitful. This can bring so much amazing growth. So thank you so much for being here, Cancer. Thank you so much for diving in and doing this deep work that you're doing. As I said, it's very inspiring. So I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe so other people can access this type of readings and knowledge and guidance as well. And yeah, let's hope that we're all coming out the other way and we're all learning our lessons from this. May our practice benefit all beings. Have a wonderful April.